Hi folks, this is Vicki at patternprincess.com. Today I want to show you how to work this really pretty, it's a cute little coaster. It's just a really great yarn scrap project. What I've done is I've used 4 different colors of yarn. I had a little bit of Caron Simply Soft left over. Normally when I do a coaster, to be honest, I normally like to use a cotton yarn. I've actually had luck with a more of a I think that this is like a polyester yarn. It works as well for a coaster. And then this one here is chartreuse. I don't remember what this lavender color was. I believe that this was like a blackberry, and then this is white. And again, this is Caron Simply Soft. And this is done in 4 different rows. And I've used a size H hook. This is my hook. You can tell I've used it a lot. I'm getting a wear spot in it. And so we'll get going on it. And again, these are just the colors I happen to have. I don't have a whole lot left of all of them. I have the most of the green. See, here's this like lavender color. I don't have much of that. I can maybe do 2 more. White is not so bad. And then the blackberry I got more of. So I might even switch up which colors I do here or here just based on how much I have. Or I might bring a different color into it. But I think that they'd be really cute gifts and whatnot as well. So in the center, what I did is I used a magic circle rather than, you could do a chain 4 and join it with a slip stitch, okay? But I used a magic circle because I thought it'd be easier to try and close up the loop. So, and it's still, because there's 12 single crochet in that circle, it's not going to close up real well all the way, just so you know. So we're going to start with our magic circle. As you can see, I have the tail part here. I bring that over my 3, usually I do 3 fingers, bring that through. I put my yarn hook right through here and bring the yarn piece through. Then I hold it with my fingers here and I get my yarn adjusted. And then I go ahead and change fingers and then I yarn over and bring that through the loop and pull tight. Now this is all set. This is the magic circle. This is my loop I'm going to be working in. But I can now, I have a slip stitch, see that? I can pull that string to make it smaller or for this part of the loop to make it bigger. And so I'll take this loop now, the one I'm going to be working in, and make that smaller. Then I'm going to adjust this hook, the loop magic circle, so that I kind of like to hold my finger in it or something to have a little bit of tension when I'm working in it. It seems to work nicely. So in this magic circle here, we're going to do 12 single crochet. So I'm just going to start. I got my loop on the hook. I'm going to go through the loop, or through the circle, yarn over, bring it through, and yarn over and bring it through 2 loops. That's a single crochet. And that's the first one. I have 11 more to go. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it does like to twist a little bit on you. Don't worry about it. We're going to straighten it up. And did I say 12? I hope I did. I should probably count here. Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look at that. We have 12. So I'm going to pull on the shorter tail to start bringing this and making it smaller. There we go. Making it smaller again. Okay, just about there, and I'll snug it up some more even after. So even though this loop is a little bit bigger, that's okay. We can adjust that and make that smaller. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to join with a slip stitch now into the first, this is the first single crochet, the top of the loops. I'm going to put my hook in there, if I can get it in there. Sometimes it's hard, it's okay. Take your time and give it a little push. There it goes. So I put it through there, yarn over, bring it through, and bring it through that loop. And that closes the loop and makes a little circle. Now, we have our little first circle done here, okay? So I'm going to cut off the green. If you wanted to, you could certainly do this whole thing in a solid color. When we get to rows 2, 3, and 4, I'll show you what you would do when you're doing a solid color. because each time that you change color, you just automatically start off in the place that you're going to. It'll make sense in a minute. Okay, for round 2, we're going to join in our next color of yarn. And it really doesn't matter what color of yarn. This just happens to be the one that I used on my sample there, on my first one. And I got to pull this tight. Here we go. And I like to sometimes yarn over and then just pull everything tight. And it kind of almost makes a little bit of a knot. It kind of secures a little bit for me. There we go. So we're going to do a chain 4, which is going to count as a treble crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do a treble crochet in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to yarn over twice, insert our hook in the first stitch, yarn over, bring it through, yarn over and go through 2 loops, yarn over 2 loops, and yarn over the last 2 loops. Okay, and then do it again, yarn over twice, and the next stitch, yarn over, bring it through, go through 2 loops, yarn over 2 loops, and yarn over 2 loops. And so now what we're going to do is a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Okay, and the work that we just did, so it kind of like makes a little, here's that 4, here's the 4. It doesn't look like it here, it looks square, right? But here's the 4 stitches right here. Here it looks like it's only 3. 1, 2, 3. But we're going to be working on that 4th one. Okay? So there are 4 pegs to each one here. So we're going to do the next one now. So we're going to, and each of these chain 4s counts as a treble crochet, and then the 2 in the middle counts as a treble crochet. So we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more treble crochet. Here's 1. And then yarn over twice. And then we're going to, I like to hold it up here. If you notice I'm moving where I'm holding my fingers, I'm going to do a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to join down here the next stitch, and there goes a slip stitch. And then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our 2 treble crochet. Oops. And make sure that you go through both loops on top. And then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into this one right here. And then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over twice. And then we have our treble crochet here. And then yarn over twice. 1, 2, 3. Now, we haven't quite finished this one yet. You're probably thinking, where am I going to put that next stitch? I don't have another stitch. What we're going to do now is a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to slip stitch right back down here. Right back in that first stitch, we're going to slip stitch. If I can get this through. There we go. I think I did. Okay. So now, let me pull up a loop. I'm going to cut my yarn, and I'm leaving a little bit of a tail on to make sure that I can weave in all of these ends, these yarn ends. You're going to weave them in. You won't even know that they were here, right? But here's what we have. It looks like a nice little flower. And if I weave this in, we'd have a really cute little flower here. So this is round 1 is the green, and this one here is round 2. And we have really a chain 4 here, 2 treble crochets, and a chain 4. And we have that 4 different times, okay? Now I'm going to join this, what did I say it was? Blackberry color, okay? And so we're going to end up with each of the corners plus a stitch in between, a set of stitches in between, okay? So here's where, I'm going to get my yarn here and talk to you a minute. Here's where, if you wanted to do a solid color, if you wanted to stay with this color here, you would slip stitch to the stitch we're going. In fact, that reminds me, I don't need to leave a big loop. I'm gonna bring my yarn through here. Let me see, which one is it? This one. I don't know. I'm so used to leaving a loop, I forgot. I shouldn't tell you that. Here we go. I'm gonna pull that loop tight because I don't need that. If I were going to continue, because where we're going to start is in the top chain 4, which is right here. Okay, right there. Here's our initial chain 4. And then you can tell because here, these 2 loops here go with the top of this treble crochet. And these 2 loops here go with the top of this treble crochet. And then you have your chain 4 right here. Okay, so it's really important on this, in this case, as we work our next stitches, to know that. So what we're going to do, if you worked in a solid color, you would slip stitch 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then in the 4th one is when you would start your work. You would start working there. Okay, so because I am changing color, I'm just going to start here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you used a solid color, you'd want to slip stitch up to here. Because I'm there already, you're just going to start right there. Again, yeah, hopefully that's making sense. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put my hook in the top chain of that first chain 4. And I'm going to insert my new color. Okay. Make sure I have enough here, sorry. I'm getting caught on everything. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a chain 4 on top, right on top of where we are. And again, that's going to count as, and I'm going to actually make that 1 stitch that I like to make and just tighten it up. So we're going to do our chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, that counts now as a treble crochet. We're going to do a treble crochet on top of each one of these. Okay, so we're going to yarn over twice and do a treble crochet on each one. So here we go, 1, and whoopsies, yarn over, and then 2. And then, now, I'm already out of yarn here. Now we come to the next one there, and we're going to do a chain 4, which is going to count as the excuse me, as another treble crochet. 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to just join with a slip stitch right here, right on that top stitch, or the first stitch. I gotta say this right on the first stitch of this next chain 4, going down, because right, does it make sense? I want to make sure I'm explaining this right. So you'd started here, you have chain 4, so it's the top chain 4 here, you do your chain 4, then 2 treble crochet, and then this was the other side of the previous row where you started with a chain 4. So this would have been your first chain of your chain 4 that you're working here, that you did your slip stitch. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do a chain 4. It's going to count again as a treble crochet. 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice. Now we're going to work on the side of this post. We're going to work right here on this side. So we're going to insert our hook into that space, and we're going to do a treble crochet. There we go. And now we're going to do 1 more treble crochet, and then 1 more. So we have a chain 4 that counts as a treble crochet, and then 3 more treble crochet. So that looks kind of awkward right now, right? But if we join this with a slip stitch to the top stitch of that next flower's, I'm going to call it a flower for right now, of the next flower's top chain 4, if we join that with a slip stitch right here, that completes that. And let me show you. let me just show you. You see this right here? So imagine that the white wasn't here, right? You have this part and this side part done. So that's what we've done so far. We've done that, this part and the side part. So now we're going to do a top part and a side part all the way around until we get back to the start. Does that make sense? So we're going to continue on here. Now we do a chain 4. It looks more complicated, I think, than what it is, and it's harder to, I think it's a hard pattern to read. But I think it even reads more complicated than what it is. So I just did a chain 4, and then I did a treble crochet on top of the treble crochet, and now I'm going to do another one right there, and then I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice. Oopsies, nope, 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 nope. How about I need to do a slip stitch? There we go. Now I chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And as I'm working on it, I kind of sometimes have to remind myself too, if it's a slip stitch or the yarn over twice. So I'm going to yarn over twice, and then I'm going to work inside on the side of that post. And I'm going to do my 3 treble crochet. Okay. And then we're going to join that with a slip stitch right here. So we're halfway there already. 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice, and our treble crochet. And my yarn just kind of came off of there, kind of went flop, flop, flop. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we do our slip stitch. And then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice, and then our 3 treble crochet on the side. I think this was number 3. And then we'll join with our slip stitch. So it really is working up quickly. You see that? I mean, we're almost done. This is our last little set. And then I'm going to switch to the white color yarn, and we would have it done already. So here we go. The only thing I'd have to do is weave in the yarn ends. But I'm going to do my chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice, and do my treble crochet. And then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oopsies. See, I almost did my yarn over twice. I got a slip stitch into that first stitch. And then chain 4, 1, 3, 4, yarn over twice, work into that side of the post. There's a 1. And I think this is number 3. Yep, and then I join right here, right in there. You join with a slip stitch. And then I'm going to cut it off again. And we're done with our next color. And remember, we don't need this one anymore. So I'm just going to pull this through and pull it tight. Okay, I'm not even pulling the right one here. Hang tight. What am I pulling? I'll just pull a stitch out. I have too many strings hanging. There we go. Nope, I still don't have the right one. Da, 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 da. Okay. My word. There we go. I got it. So let me get them all to one side. Let me show you. Can you see that? And then here's the first one. Here's the second one coming to life. Hopefully this is all coming together. And you can probably tell what we're going to do with the next row of the white. Again, if you had the solid color, you would go ahead and you would just slip stitch. You would slip stitch up to here, but again, we're going to, same thing, we're going to join our yarn right there, right to that top stitch of the first chain 4. I'm going to get my white going here. And here we go. And then, well, no we don't, because I didn't even get all the layers. How did I do that? Let's try this again. There we go. And then I'm going to yarn over once, and I like to pull tight. It just gives me that extra security. And then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over twice, and then we're going to go ahead and do our treble crochet. It's the same thing. It's slightly different because you're going to do, you have 2 times where you're going to work on that side post rather than just the one on the side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you did another, oopsies, I got a single crochet, I'm talking too much. If you did another round, then you would have 3 of the areas where we're working on the side post. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over twice. And when I'm going to show you, when we get to the next area where we do this, repeat this again. When I was first trying to figure this out and develop this, I kind of was almost confusing myself. It took me quite a while to figure out this row. But once I got it and it made sense what I was doing, then I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I got this. And I did not get all of the yarn. There we go. So I have my 2 treble crochet. I need 1 more, because then it's a total of 4 with that chain 4. Okay, so it looks kind of funny, right? So we're going to join with our slip stitch to the top stitch of the chain 4 of the next one. Now here's where I say it looks funny. So it's even, and this is the part that messed me up initially. When I was working, I thought, oh my God, how do I do this? How do I get past this? Well, it's like, duh, it gets bigger. So this part here, we're right here, okay? We're right here. We've done this part here and this part here. Well, I have another one of these, and if you look, that's flat right there. So what I did is I worked on top of these this way. Hopefully this is going to make sense in a second here. But it worked. Okay, it works. So now we're going, so I have these, I'm going to work on top of these 4 treble crochets. So I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to yarn over twice, and you're going to do a treble crochet in the next 3. So it's 1, yarn over twice, 2. And this pattern here is what you would continue to work if you continued to add on rows, do a big blanket, whatever you chose to do. This is the pattern you would work. You just would have more of these, whatever you want to call them. One where you'd work on the side of the post and one where you work on top of the stitches. They would just continue to expand in between your corner stitches, because this is a corner stitch, this one here. So now it looks like the other corner stitches, right? So now we're into our corner stitch where we join with a slip stitch, right? Now we can do our chain 4. And then yarn over twice, and then our 2 treble crochet. So yeah, you can imagine when I got to that one point, I thought, oh my God, how dumb am I? I can't figure this out. Well, I got it. I figured out how to like make it look nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes when you're designing a pattern, you think it's going to look really cool, and then you can't figure out how to get past point A. Oh, but then when I finally figured out, I thought, oh, how cool this is. This is neat. 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, oopsies. Yarn over twice, and then we're going to work into the side post there. So 1, 2 more. Hang tight. A smidge more yarn. What do we got? 2. Need 1 more. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch. So here's where it looks funny again. Right? We join with a slip stitch. So if you get to this point and think, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Okay, you're good, you're good. It's going to come out to be a square. See how nice that other spot looks? So we do our chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice, and then just do your 3 treble crochets, 1 on top of each one. So that's easy enough, right? Yarn over twice, yarn over twice, there we go. And then we're up to our corner stitch already. So we join with a slip stitch, and then we do a 4 chain, and then yarn over twice, and then our 2, because we're up to our 2 treble crochet. So we treble crochet twice. That's our corner stitch always. As you work through the pattern, that's always going to be your corner stitch pattern. Our chain 4, 2 treble crochet and chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go ahead and slip stitch into that first chain, and then we chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to work on the side of that stitch, 3, and 2 more. There we go, our last one. Okay, now we're up to, we're going to slip stitch into that next set, into that top stitch. You can always tell, it just comes out even. It looks across, you just, oh, look at that. It almost tells you this is where your next spot is. The only time it doesn't line up even like that is when you do your corner stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice, and our treble crochets are worked on top. Yarn over, and then 1 more, and then we're into our corner stitch here. So we slip stitch into that top one, and they're even for a moment again, right? We're almost done. As you can see, we're almost around the block here. We're on our last side. Oopsies. My yarn is tangling. All right, so we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice, and do your 2 treble crochets. Here's the second one, and then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slip stitch into that first chain of that next section there, and then we're going to work on the side of it again. So it's chain 4, 2, 3, 4, yarn over twice, and work on that side post. 1, I didn't yarn over twice. I realized that just as I started. 2, 3, and this is the last spot that'll look goofy on you because we're on the last row. So here we go. We're going to slip stitch into this stitch, and then we're going to chain 4, and then yarn over twice, and then we're going to do 3 treble crochet. There's 1, and remember we're working on the tops of those stitches. 2, 3, and so now what we're going to do is just like we did the last time. Here was our very first stitch. Here's where we joined our yarn, and so we're just going to go right back in there and work a slip stitch, and then I'm going to snip myself off some extra yarn here so I can weave it in, and I'll pull it out. We'll see how easy I can get through this time. There we go. Look at that. All right, And so now this looks a little bit wonky right now because I have to weave in my yarn ends. But there we go, it's all nice. So I have a duplicate. Look at that, 4 rounds. And once I weave in the yarn ends, it's going to look just like this one. Look at that. I now have 2. I have 2 of these pretty little coasters. I still don't even know what I'm going to call them. They're kind of like squares, kind of like flowers. I don't know. I should have a naming contest. But I thought that they were really cute. I think it's a really cool pattern. I think I'm going to make a doily out of this with the thread yarn that's a variegated. And I won't have to change the colors in between each row. So it's going to be a lot less yarn to weave in, but I'll just have to slip stitch. Like if I were going to go here again, remember, if I didn't have this color that I'm changing color each row, I would just slip stitch into 1, 2, 3, 4 until I got up to here. And then I would start with my chain 4 and then continue on around. And as you get bigger, remember, these stitches on the side, you're going to add 1 every single row. I hope that you enjoy this pattern. It's kind of a unique, pretty little pattern. But please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And you can get this free pattern on the website. Thank you and have a wonderful day.